All right, are you ready to like totally rethink what a front desk can do?
I'm ready.
Okay, good. Because we are diving deep into the Spizz, this book.
Okay.
It's by this guy, Twisty,
Okay.
who, and I love this, calls himself the #1 growth coordinator in chiropractic.
Wow.
Yeah, and I know you might be thinking, chiropractic office, what's that got to do with like my life?
Right.
But trust me, stick with us.
Okay.
There are some really smart ideas here
Hmm.
that we can apply to any business or any interaction at all, really.
Okay.
You know how like that first point of contact,
Yes.
whether it's like a storefront or your website or even just answering the phone,
Yeah.
how do you make that really work for you?
Yeah, that's so important.
That's what Twisty's all about.
Okay.
And he does it in this like super high energy basketball themed way.
Interesting.
It's, well,
Unique.
very unique. Yeah.
It's definitely not your average business book.
No.
But maybe that's why it works.
Right.
You know, sometimes you need something a little different to get people's attention.
Yeah, you need that Spizz.
The Spizz.
And
yeah.
speaking of Spizz, that's like Twisty's word.
Okay.
It's the secret sauce.
Oh,
The
right.
energy that, makes your front desk like a growth engine,
Oh, I see.
not just, a place to answer phones.
Right.
It's about being proactive. It's
Okay.
about engaging.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts with the language you use.
Right.
His big idea is this never say no philosophy.
This is where it gets interesting.
Right.
On the surface, it sounds like just be positive,
Yeah.
but there's actually a deeper psychology thing going on here, cognitive reframing.
Oh, okay.
So it's not just about like being cheerful, it's about changing how people see the situation.
So you're hacking the conversation.
In a way, yeah, and that can be super powerful.
But how do you actually do never say no in real life?
That's a good question.
Like, how do you make it sound real and not like fake?
That's where Twisty's yes and formula comes in.
Okay.
And it's actually pretty smart. It's
Sure.
not about just agreeing with everything. It's about validating, concerns.
Yeah.
Reframing those objections into opportunities
Oh, okay.
and then like smoothly moving forward.
So instead of a no, you hit a brick wall.
Right.
You're making a detour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To a yes.
I like that.
Like judo, you use their energy to get them where you want them to go.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
But that's got to take practice to make it sound smooth.
totally.
Yeah.
This is where the theory becomes reality, and Twisty gives you tools to make this work.
Cools.
He has these objection drills.
Objection drill.
Yeah, where he walks you through like common scenarios.
Like what?
Someone's worried about x-rays or their insurance.
Right, yeah.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
Everyone deals with this, whatever business you're in.
Let's look at one of those.
Okay.
He's got a whole thing on cost objections.
Right. Which, again, everybody deals with.
Always.
And this is where his stuff can be really helpful.
Okay.
He says you got to reframe the conversation.
Okay.
Focus on value, not just the price tag.
Let's see.
So instead of being defensive about the cost, you highlight the benefits.
Right.
The long-term savings that come from the service or product.
Okay. Let's say someone calls
Okay.
and they're like, woo, this is way more than I thought.
Mm.
How would Twisty say to handle that?
Well, first, you got to validate their concern.
Mm-hmm.
You say something like, I understand chiropractic care is an investment and we want to make sure it's right for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to shift the focus to the value. You could say, our approach gets to the root of your pain. We don't just mask the symptoms.
Right.
This means you'll need fewer visits overall and you'll have a better quality of life.
I like that.
And then you smoothly go to the next step.
Which is?
Maybe schedule a consultation or talk about financing.
You're like weaving their objection
All right.
into a bigger, more positive story.
Exactly.
I could see how that would work, especially if someone is, already feeling a little iffy.
Totally. It's about building trust and guiding them towards, a win-win.
So Twisty has a whole system for this.
Yeah.
To make this happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about like individual skills.
Right.
It's a whole culture of Spizz, as he puts it.
Right. This is where his out there approach shines.
Okay.
He compares the front desk to, wait for it, John Stockton,
The basketball player.
the NBA's all-time assist leader.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Tell me more about this basketball thing.
Okay.
How does that relate to making an amazing customer experience?
So Twisty says the front desk staff, they're like John Stockton. They set up the doctor for success.
Like passing the ball for the slam dunk.
Exactly. They're not just answering phones.
Right.
Scheduling, they're engaging with people.
Mm-hmm.
building those relationships,
Yeah.
getting those concerns out of the way.
Yeah.
They pass the ball so the doctor can score.
Okay, and scoring means?
Giving amazing care. Building that thriving
I
practice.
get the teamwork thing.
Right.
Everyone has a part to play to make the patient happy. But doesn't it feel a little weird comparing healthcare to a game?
You're right. Analogies can be really helpful
Yeah.
to explain things, but they have their limits.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, healthcare is serious stuff.
Yeah.
But I think his main point, it still works.
Okay.
Being proactive, thinking ahead, setting things up so things go smoothly.
So it's not about the basketball. It's about that assist-making mindset.
Exactly.
I can get behind that. How do you actually create that Spizz culture, though?
Oh, that's the good stuff.
Yeah.
Twisty gives you tons of advice, like really practical stuff.
Give me an example.
He loves role-playing.
Role-playing.
Mm-hmm. He says have your front desk staff practice,
Right.
handling those tricky objections,
Mm.
different situations.
Okay, so they're ready.
Exactly. It helps them build confidence
Okay.
and helps them, smoothly transition those conversations.
It's like they're rehearsing for a play.
Yeah.
Ready for those tough parts, figuring out how to turn things around.
Yes.
He also talks about rewarding the good stuff.
Makes sense.
Recognize when they go above and beyond.
Yeah.
Show that Spizz. It motivates them.
Right. If you want them to bring that energy, you have to make them feel appreciated.
Exactly. Now, you mentioned earlier about the mystery call checklist. Tell me more about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a really interesting one.
It's a clever idea
Mm-hmm.
for business owners to see how their front desk is doing
Okay.
out in the real world.
In the wild.
Yeah. The owner calls in,
Okay.
pretends to be a new patient,
Oh, sneaky.
and they have this checklist
Mm-hmm.
to see how the staff handles the call.
So it's like a secret shopper,
Yes.
but for phone calls.
Hmm.
I bet that keeps everybody on their toes.
It definitely helps make sure they're using Twisty's methods.
The checklist covers things like, did they validate the caller's concerns?
Right.
Did they reframe any objections? Did they end the call with a clear next step?
That pass the ball moment?
Yes.
It's brilliant. You get a real, clear picture of how they're doing with those positive communication techniques.
Mm-hmm. And you can use it for training, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The team can go over the checklist,
Yeah.
see where they need to improve, refine things.
It's all about constantly getting better.
Exactly.
It's striking me that Twisty's advice, it's not just, surface level customer service stuff.
Right.
It's getting into some deeper stuff.
Mm.
The psychology, how to persuade people, how to make a really positive, engaging experience.
That's what makes his stuff so cool. He
Mhm.
takes these simple things, positive language, reframing objections, being proactive, and he shows how powerful they can be
Yeah.
in any situation.
Yeah.
Running a business, leading a team, even just everyday life.
So, okay, what does this all mean for our listener?
Uh-huh.
Someone who's not necessarily answering phones all day.
Mm-hmm.
What are the big takeaways that anybody can use?
I think the biggest thing is it's about being aware of how you communicate.
Yeah.
Twisty shows us that the words we use, our tone, how we set things up, it can really change the outcome.
It's like he's giving us tools to build better relationships
Mm-hmm.
in work and in life,
Uh-huh.
And it all starts with that change,
Yeah.
that commitment to finding the positive,
Mm-hmm.
to making things welcoming, engaging for whoever you're talking to.
Exactly, and that's where Spizz comes back. It's
Yeah.
not just like a cool word.
Right.
It's about bringing that energy, that enthusiasm to everything you do.
I gotta admit, I was a little iffy on that word at first,
Yeah.
but now I kind of get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it means that proactive, positive thing Twisty's all about,
Right.
and I feel like anyone could do that, even if you're not naturally a super high energy person.
I agree. It's not about being fake.
Right.
It's about finding your own way to be enthusiastic, to
Yeah.
be committed to creating that good experience.
So it's less about being like a cheerleader
Right.
and more about finding your own Spizz style.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
It makes it feel like doable.
Exactly. And that's what makes Twisty's work so good. He's
Yeah.
not saying, here's the script, follow it.
Right.
He's saying, find your own voice, create your own Spizz moments.
That's pretty. I mean, that's a powerful message, don't you think?
Yeah, it is.
Like we can all make things better.
Mm-hmm.
Turn those tough spots around.
Yeah.
Make the world a more welcoming place
Mm-hmm.
just by, how we talk to each other.
One conversation at a time.
Yeah. And maybe, just maybe add a little spizz along the way.
I like that.
We could all use a little more of that, right?
Definitely.
Well, this has been fun.
It has.
A deep dive into the Spizz.
Yeah.
Who knew a book about a chiropractor's front desk could teach us so much?
You never know where you'll find wisdom, right?
So to our listener, think about, where are those front desk moments in your life?
Mm-hmm.
How can you bring more Spizz to those?
Yeah.
We want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Until next time, remember, embrace the Spizz.
Embrace the Spizz.
See where it takes you.
See where it takes you.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.